It's me, Dominique. I'm sorry if I'm coming out slightly orange or too bright. I just purchased a new light and I have to try to adjust it. Anywho, I'm coming to you with today's recap. If you noticed from my last video, that's probably going to upload before this one. I'm putting the date and the timestamp on the video so you know which episode I'm talking about as far as what I'm reviewing. Today I'm going to review the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is actually the episode before the season finale. Season 6 episode, whatever it's titled in the title. Okay, so the episode begins with Portia in the studio, and Portia's singing, and their producers are telling her, you know, you need to do better, basically, Portia. Then the scene goes on. Candy comes in, and no, before that part, Portia makes a statement along the lines that, you know, ever since the divorce, she's trying to go back to her roots and go back to her singing career and go back to her dreams and yada yada yada. No, the fact that you're going back to singing and pursuing your dreams is because of the fact that you have a very successful songwriter and a friendship with Candy. Candy is a very successful songwriter. She knows all the right people, so of course you want to capitalize off of that. She already has put you on the play that she has created and produced. So of course anybody she refers you to, they're gonna look at it like, oh, okay, well, Candy is working with her, so she must be something. That's what it is. That's what's making you want to go back and pursue and use your talents, Portia. The fact that you have a friendship with Candy. And Candy is sitting there keying with her about her missing rehearsals and her missing practices and this and that. She uses the fact that Candy's her friend to do what she does. Candy is sitting there laughing with her, saying, oh no, you telling me my people need to get it together. Your people are the one who need, like, it's not even funny because she knows for a fact that Portia's assistant is also Portia's sister. So Candy needs to be more serious with Portia in regards to this because this affects Candy's money. Regardless of the friendship that y'all have, Candy, you need to get on her. You need to let her know, come on, Portia, you need to get it together. So the next scene goes into Nene. Nene is meeting with her manager, and they're talking about different screenplays and this and that, yada yada yada. And she's basically has turned out a lot of stuff. According to what they're talking about, she's turned out a lot of stuff like movie roles and such. She's saying basically because as an actress, you don't need to play everything. I think the problem with that is the fact that Nene has heard us and probably other people say that in all of her acting roles, Nene has basically played herself. And all of the roles that have been presented to her has been herself in a sense. So she's trying to sway away from that to show us that she's more than just Nene in her acting roles, which, I mean, makes sense. That's what I just think. That's why I think she just was like, nah, she doesn't want to do this stuff. And then Nene's talking about, oh, I've never seen Scandal. I really don't pay attention to acting in Hollywood because I'm just too busy. No, Nene, you're not that busy. You don't know why you're not that busy, Nene? Because you're on this show. So you can't be that busy with all this other stuff that you don't watch Scandal. How you gonna claim you so busy, you too busy to watch Scandal, but Beyonce watches Scandal? Beyonce, who was on tour while she was on tour during her album and filming videos for said album, but she was watching Scandal. She knew about Scandal shit. She knew about y'all show. So don't sit there and give that bullshit about how you were too busy to even know what Scandal is. Come on, Nene, stop it. You're not that busy. You're not busier than Beyonce. The next scene goes into Cynthia and Peter talking about the foreclosure issue. That's real messed up. That's the life y'all live, Cynthia. That you're finding out stuff regarding your business from your husband that you shared your businesses with through the blogs and not from him. Like, ain't like when you guys are celebrity, I guess Peter is still getting used to the celebrity life. There's no way Cynthia should have been finding out things from the blogs and not Peter firsthand. Especially the fact that Peter knew this information. If the fact that maybe if Peter was in the dark just as well as Cynthia was in the dark, that would have been something different. But Peter wasn't in the dark. Peter knew. And for Cynthia to find out through the blogs and not Peter, I felt like that was really messed up. Like extremely messed up. And Cynthia's whole thing, like, she hears Peter talk and she wants to support Peter, but she also doesn't want to be bumped down to regular working class status again with all these different investments that Peter wants to make. The next scene goes into Kenya, and that scene was really, really sad. I finally, even though I'm not Kenya's biggest fan, I felt some sympathy for her, because to lose someone who was a part of your life, even though because people may say, well, it was just a dog. This dog was a living being. So at the end of the day, to lose a living being that was such a big part of your life is sad. And I did feel sorry for Kenya at this part of the episode. Actually, the whole episode, I felt sorry for Kenya, because she wasn't being the normal Kenya, the shady, frenemy Kenya. So I felt bad for her. Okay, the next scene is Candy and her mom and the counselor. Now, I'm glad that Candy has decided to deal with the situation with her mom in some sort of productive way, it seems. It sucks that Candy sits down with the counselor, and Candy is almost 40 years old, and Mama Joyce is still dictating what is going on in her life and having so much control. It's also surprising that they haven't spoken since the whole Carmen, Todd, Candy thing. I'm surprised that, it was strained from there. But I guess that was the last straw for Candy. Candy was like, nah, Mom, you filed for that, whatever. I don't know how that conversation went, but I'm interested in knowing. Also, Mama Joyce brought up the fact that Candy's brother died. A lot of us know that Candy's brother died. And a lot of us, especially as parents, as mothers, can understand why she may cling to Candy as more. But she said that because Candy didn't have a father figure, and that Candy lost the only male figure she had in her life in her brother, and that dictates the choices that Candy makes. I think the fact that Candy's brother died at such a young age and whatever happened dictates more of Mama Joyce's actions than Candy's actions. The next scene goes into Nene and the whole clothing line thing. One thing, it's not much I'll say about this scene, but one thing I will say about Nene and what my thoughts on the scene was the fact that Nene really has capitalized off of her platform on this show. Like, Nene has been in shows. She has been on she's been on like scripted shows. She's been on other reality shows. She's on Dancing with the Stars. She's doing her whole clothing line. So Nene has really capitalized off this platform. So I will give Nene that she knows, like, y'all might come at me, but I feel like Nene is right behind Candy in a business sense, because she's trying to do everything she can do to capitalize on the platform and bring in the income. So, well, that's all I really say about that scene. The next scene is Kenya meeting up with Cynthia and Candy to tell them about Velvet dying. Again, I had sympathy for Kenya in this scene, because that's a really bad place to be, losing someone that was so close to you. Like I said before, a dog is not a human being, but a dog is a living being, and to lose someone that was a part of your life for 7 years, almost a decade, I know, like, she has to be hurting. And as I watch this episode go on, I do realize Kenya is really hurting from this, because the fact that when Cynthia asked about inviting the other girls, I don't think Cynthia was asking from a place of malice. I was thinking maybe she felt like Kenya wanted all the support she could get. But the fact that Kenya was like, nah, just you two are enough. You know that Kenya's really hurting. And it's like she just wants some mourning peace and not have to deal with the whole friend aspect of this whole show thing, and she doesn't want to deal with having to be her usual Kenya shady, Kingdom of kindness. She just wants to mourn in peace and mourn with people that she feel may be close to her. So that's how when I watched this scene, I noticed that Kenya was really hurting. The next scene was like the mini commercial break clip with Phaedra and Apollo at the little Pottery Barn. I also noticed that we didn't see a lot of Phaedra and Apollo in this episode, but I guess they tried to kind of squeeze them in the little commercial break. And when it was on the little pottery thing, I thought about the movie Ghost with the Dirty Dancing guy. I forgot his name. His name escapes me. I'm sorry. I'm 28. I've seen this movie, but I forgot his name. And Fitz from Scandal. Now he was in the movie. He played like a villain in that movie. So yeah, that's the movie I thought about when I seen that scene. And he was like they do in the movies, and he got behind Phaedra and was trying to do all that. Yeah, but that's the only time we seen Phaedra for whatever scene, which I felt like was kind of pointless, so I'm not gonna lie. The next scene was Peter and Cynthia again talking about the business. Peter giving Cynthia the update, and the fact that I feel like Peter wants to buy the properties that they have from the owner that is in foreclosure. First of all, Cynthia lets it be known that they can't really afford to buy. They can only really afford to rent, to own or rent. And then the fact that Peter wants to buy this property from an owner that's in foreclosure kind of uneasy with me. But at the same time, I don't know anything about real estate, so I don't know. Like, I don't really know how that goes. To me, it didn't scream like a good idea, but I may be wrong because, like I said, I don't know anything about real estate. Okay, the last scene is Candy and the practicing of the play and stuff like that. First of all, here comes Portia like, oh yeah, I get it, I finally get it, whatever. Portia, a week before the show starts, you finally get it, and you want to come to practices, and you want to do what you need to do. And I feel like she's using her friendship with Candy to be lazy and to be a diva, because everybody else got it, but except Portia. To the fact that her understudy knows way more than Portia. Like, Portia is doing the stuff and not getting the stuff that she was supposed to get in practices from long ago. And I want to be on Portia's side, and I want to, like, say, Portia, come on, I want you to do better because of this divorce and not getting no money and stuff like that. But Portia is really, like, really irking my nerves. Another thing with this scene is, clearly, Candy is using this play to tell her mom how she really feels about her without really telling her how she really feels about her, which I think is really funny. And another thing with this scene is that Todd is talking to his mom. And it's like the way Todd's mom asks questions regarding Mama Joyce is like, you can tell she wondering what Mama Joyce asked, but she's just waiting for Todd to say the word. But she like, this woman fuck on my son, and I'm just waiting for him to say something so I could jump up in her ass, because she's in my age range and she trying my baby. Just like she want to be protected of her baby, I want to be protected of my baby. I know we didn't really hear much of Todd's mom's voice, but that's just the way I took it as a mother of a son, and putting myself in that position, having to deal with my son's woman's mom, and yeah, I took that way left field, but So yeah, as the scene goes on, Don Juan is giving Mama Joyce a tour, but then decides that he's not going to finish up the tour, that he's going to let Todd finish up the tour. And I'm like, Don Juan, you know damn well you should have been the buffer between Mama Joyce and Todd, because you know tensions are high there. But I like the fact that Todd addresses the issue with Mama Joyce to Mama Joyce, even though I don't feel like it would have done much. But I like the fact that he addressed it, and I like the fact that that scene played out the way it played out, where it seemed like they were getting somewhere and getting some type of resolution. So yeah, that's how I felt about that. But that's my review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and leave them below. All my links for my social networks will be in the description box, and my email as well. If you guys notice, I do have a new email address. I will address that in another video. But if you want to contact me, the email address that will be down in my description box, which is DominiqueOYT@hotmail.com. that would be the email you would use to contact me. But I will address the change in another video. So until next video, I'm out.